Thank you, President Broadhead. I'd like to begin by welcoming all the people in the audience here today. Mothers, fathers, faculty, friends, significant others, and the student loan officers who are sitting outside waiting to collect. And to the Duke class of 2012, I'd like to say, congratulations. We did it. The role of student speaker is a bit of a challenge. Apparently I'm supposed to be humorous, inspire you, challenge you, make you laugh and cry at the same time, and pretty much make all of your dreams come true in the span of 5 to 7 minutes. I'll leave all that to our distinguished speaker. Instead, I'd like to reflect on commencement from the student's perspective and how the Duke experience will change our lives. What defines the Duke experience exactly? That question is truly difficult, if not impossible to answer. Graduating here today are undergraduate, master's, doctoral, and even MD, PhD candidates who have spent anywhere from 12 months to 12 years at this phenomenal institution. For the undergraduates, perhaps years from now, you will be nostalgic for another day with your friends from your selective living group, fraternity, or sorority. Perhaps you'll get flashbacks of standing in line at the marketplace waiting for food, or pushing your way onto a crowded C1 bus. Perhaps your memory will block out the countless hours you spent in the library, supposedly studying for your finals, when the need to like another item and develop your Facebook stalking skills seems far more important than learning another organic chemistry reaction. Graduate students, your Duke experience is also quite varied, since more than 60 programs are represented here today. Law students, perhaps you will always remember the Socratic method stressing you out, and how when you finally got called on, the question seemed impossible. For others of you in the sciences, perhaps your Duke experience was defined by the time in the lab, running gels, troubleshooting equipment, or the plethora of failed experiments, till that one finally worked. Business students, perhaps your Duke experience was built on time working in small groups, on group projects. Healthcare students, perhaps you'll never get the odd smell of anatomy lab out of your clothes. Still, the Duke experience for others may be based on the hours in class and writing papers. The truth is, I'm not entirely sure what your individual Duke experience has meant to you, but perhaps I can instead point out that which unites us. Am I talking about how our lives will forever be different after experiencing Shooter's nightclub? No, not exactly. Am I talking about the excitement for Duke men's basketball tenting in a 2010 men's basketball national championship? Well, yes, but it's hard to do justice to that in a speech. Instead, class of 2012, I would like to propose that what unites us will be a spirit of optimism. I would like to encourage us all to go forward, united, in a positive mental attitude. There's a simple slogan on the door of the Duke Medical School admissions office. In large, flowing letters it reads, "At Duke there is hope. At Duke there is hope." A prospective student once asked the Associate Director of Admissions about the slogan on the door, and his response was profound. He said, "The slogan at Duke there is hope? Right. Well, we actually just stole the slogan from someone else because we needed something for the door." He went on to say that the slogan actually comes from a group that is responsible for inspiring hope on a daily basis. The Duke Brain Tumor Center. The Brain Tumor Center says, "Hope is not simple to define. It represents not only a way of thinking or feeling about the future, but also a way of responding to circumstances in the present." And if we look at the world situation today, we do need a great deal of optimism moving forward. Optimism about the upcoming political changes, global economic crisis, the U.S. healthcare system, and other defining issues of our time. Optimism that the Mayans were right, and that the world really will end in 2012, so we won't have to pay off the mountains of student debt we've accrued. Optimism about a number of things. I think you'll find, though, that the Duke experience has already instilled in you a foundation for a positive mental attitude. There's something intrinsic about the Duke experience that gives rise to a sense of optimism. Our reasons to maintain an optimistic mentality are as varied as our academic experiences. Winning the golden ticket at the Duke Gypsy Campout or surviving the bitter storms, tenting for a Duke men's basketball game taught you optimism. The loud applause after months of practice for Diaz Awaz or the Lunar New Year show taught you optimism. The joy of performing with the Pitchforks or Out of the Blue a cappella groups, or dancing with Sabro Sura or Duke Swing taught you optimism. Conquering a difficult senior thesis or even finally making it to the glorious moment called graduation taught you optimism. Our collective Duke experiences give us a basis to believe and to hope. The Duke experience teaches us about ourselves and helps us walk confidently toward our dreams. But what is optimism? Put simply, it is choosing to respond to life's events in a positive manner. You know, it's funny, but a stumbling block and a stepping stone look pretty similar at close distance. I guess it's the way you choose to look at them that determines your fate. Obviously, I'm not saying that life will be splendid all the time. I don't assume that you'll feel every day like you're on a beach at sunset riding a unicorn, chasing puppies and kittens under a rainbow-filled cloudless sky. But I think it's all about how you choose to respond to things that hurt, things that take sacrifice, things that are not easy, whether it be the death of a loved one, losing a job, or having a hard day. Graduates, there will clearly be tough times ahead, but let us choose how we respond. Let us go forward, united in optimism. Now, when I talk about positive mental thinking, I have to tell you my favorite story from a man named Mort Utley. Their parents who had twin boys, 6 years old, extreme opposites. One of them was the world's greatest optimist. He loved everybody and everything in this world. The other little boy was the world's worst pessimist. He hated the whole world and everything in it. The parents were so disturbed by the extreme opposite characteristics of these two children, they took them to a child psychologist. He said, "Can't imagine two little boys in the same family, especially twins, being such extreme opposites. They have tests. Let's put them through the test. We can talk about the remedy." So they took this extreme pessimist down to a room that had every kind of toy a child could imagine. They said, "Son, all these are yours. You have a good time. We'll come back after a while." And they went out and shut the door. They took this little extreme optimist down to a room that didn't have a single thing in it, except right in the middle of the floor was a great big pile of horse manure. They said, "Son, you have a good time. We'll come back after a while." And they went out and shut the door. In about 20 minutes, we went back into the room where the extreme pessimist was, and he was seated in the middle of the room with his arms folded and hadn't touched a single thing. The psychiatrist said, "Why didn't you ride on the rocking horse?" He said, "I was afraid I'd fall down and break my arm." Why didn't you ride on the roller skates? That'd be fun." He said, "I was afraid I'd fall down and skin my knees." We went down to the other room where the extreme optimist was, and when they opened that door, they looked in, and the kid was bent down and deep in the horse manure, clear to here. He was slinging it. He had it all over the ceiling, all over the walls, all over the floors, all over himself. The psychiatrist said, "Son, what in the world are you doing?" He said, "With all this manure, there's got to be a pony somewhere." There's a reason why I told you that story. I've been told a little secret. After graduation, I'm going to have to wade through a lot of it. But just remember, the more there is, the deeper it gets, the bigger the ponies. The bigger the ponies. Graduating class of 2012, let us go forward from here, united in optimism. You've accomplished some amazing things while here at Duke. The Duke experience has developed in you a foundation of excellence and ability to believe in yourself. We ask that you now go forth and do great things outside these walls. Carry with you from here a spirit of optimism and a positive mental attitude. Persevere in choosing to see future struggles through a lens of positivity. At Duke there is hope, reads the slogan. But now I'm finally able to encourage you, my fellow class of 2012 graduates, to unite and carry forth a new slogan. We are Duke, and we have hope. Thank you.